Listen, Junior, you caught me and my friend here in a good mood today, so I'm gonna let you off with a warning. Step aside and you won't have to feel the awesome wrath of our mustaches.
You mean these? I thought you still had a piece of salad stuck to your lip from lunchtime.
They were fake?
Of course they were fake! This is what a real mustache looks like.
That's right. That's my mustache. What's up, dudes? Simon back with another video. Today we're going to be looking at some terrible album covers. Now these vary from really bad to wow, how the hell did this band ever release an album with this cover? I'm sure some bands don't have too much to do with the covers, but I'm pretty sure that they have the final decision on whether that actually can go onto something that they've created. So yes, these are very questionable. First of all, thank you very much to everyone that subscribed recently. If you haven't subscribed and you're watching this channel, please subscribe. Apparently only 7% of the people that watch my videos actually subscribe, and I would love all of you guys to be subscribed to the channel and get my latest updates for all the videos and stuff that I'm going to do this year. But anyway, I'm babbling. Let's look at some terrible album covers. Right, let's start off with a peach. Now, this album, this is Pantera's 1983 first album, Metal Magic. Now, we won't be too hard on this one, because let's just say, I think we all know how bad some of the album covers were in the 80s. I mean, here's just a quick few examples. Yeah. Yeah. So you get the picture. So overall, it's not the worst thing to come out of the 80s. I don't think Pantera have ever had the best album covers, but this one is definitely at the bottom of the pile. But let's just say this is not the last time that this band will feature in this video. Right, overall, Papa Roach are one of my favourite bands of all time. However, they have a hit and miss album cover standard. I think that some are fantastic, some are very lackluster. I think Papa Roach's 2013 The Connection is fantastic. If you look back on Infest, it's a very simple cover. And then I think, in the later years, they've got a bit lazy. I think covers like Who Do You Trust are rather dull, as the album was quite dull. But I don't think that any of them comes close to being quite as ugly as the Getting Away with Murder album cover. It's grey, it has a heart. Although some album covers, I must have to mention Bleeding Through's This Is Love, This Is Murderous, which I'll put on the screen now. That's how you do a heart album cover. Bring Me the Horizons album, Suicide Season, any Cannibal Corpse album, that's how you do gore in an album cover. This just looks really dated. The wings look terrible. I just don't think it's a good album cover. Now, it was fixed for something just as boring, which I shall put on screen now, but actually looks much less horrific to look at. So I think that this was the cover that it was re-released by in the sort of later years, because I do think people genuinely think that that album is a terrible cover. It's not a bad album. It's in sort of the middle of the Papa Roach albums, I would say. But yeah, again, Papa Roach hit and miss, but Getting Away with Murder, the original version, not a nice cover to look at. Okay, let's talk Green Day covers. Now, overall, I don't think they've got great album covers. I don't think there's anything particularly bad about them, but this one really takes the cake. Just look at the state of this album cover. And believe me, I tried to listen to the album, and it's as bad as the cover is. Wow, what a state. Just look at that. Fire coming out of the arse of a unicorn that's throwing up rainbow onto an album cover. And I'm not going to say the title, but it's terrible. Everything about this is awful. The album itself is horrendous. I think this has to go down by far with one of the worst alternative music, punk, whatever you want to call it, covers and albums of all time. Just, let's move on. This is too disgusting to look at. Okay, we move on to an absolutely awesome album. I would say one of the best albums from the sort of nu metal genre of music, although it is slightly more metal. And as I've said before, I feel like nu metal was a time, not a type of music. But Dry Kill Logic's The Darker Side of Nonsense is an amazing album with legitimately one of the most horrific and horrible covers I've ever seen. I remember buying it in the shop at the time and thinking, oh, I've heard this album's really good, but by the look of the cover, it's really not good. I think that this probably put a lot of people off just from the cover, and they could have done something much more simple and much less ugly. But I'm just telling you right now, I know the cover might put you off, but if you do get a chance, go check this album out, because I guarantee you there will be something on there that you like. Right, Pantera are back on the list again, as I said they were going to be before, with 2000's Reinventing the Steel. I was so psyched for this album to come out. Musically, I wasn't too disappointed. I think it's a really good album, but the cover overall is atrocious. And I actually bought a t-shirt with this album cover on. I wish I had a picture of me wearing it, but I swear to God, yes, for one, I am that old, and I did have this on a t-shirt. But looking back on it now, it's not a great cover, especially to be Pantera's final album, or, you know, so we think in this day and age. Now, it was re-released with a very, very plain cover, which I will put on the screen now for you guys. Although very plain, I do like it a lot better. I think that it sort of captures what it's about. You know, a man holding a bottle that they have to pixelate in his boxers jumping through the flames. Not so much. Iron Maiden are responsible for some of the best covers of all time. There is no doubt about it. Live After Death, just look at it. Seventh Son of a Seventh Son, Number of the Beast, Somewhere in Time. I could go on for a long time. Basically, all of their covers are incredible. Until you get to 2003's horrific CGI mess that is Dance of Death. Yes, if you look closely, there is a baby wearing a bikini with a mask on top of a wolf. Just look at this terror. Even for 2003, this is bad CGI. It has not aged well. I don't know how anyone pushed this through as a good Iron Maiden cover looking at any of the others. It overall is just atrocious to look at. And in my opinion, it's not the best Iron Maiden album, but it really, really doesn't deserve this cover. Now, I have seen some awesome stuff online where people have fixed the album cover to make it look way better. So I'm just going to show you one of those, which is this one by I.K. Mendez. And this, although it's still not the greatest looking cover of all time, just look at the difference between that and that, and I think we can all go with the fact that this version would have been much, much nicer. Also a bit of a letdown that all of the singles that were released had really great covers and the album looked terrible. So yeah, unfortunately, yes, Maiden do have some bad covers, and this is by far the worst one. Thanks for watching the video, guys. I will do more of these covers if you really, really want me to. There are tons and tons of terrible, terrible album covers out there. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I shall see you dudes in the next video.